I think we're certainly going to be competitive.
Really, we're looking for a great season. A great bunch of kids out there.
Storer Cable Communications Channel 5 presents Championship Football. Today from Paulsboro, it's the South Jersey Group 1 final between the Red Raiders of Paulsboro High School and the Bulldogs of Glassboro High School. Hi again, everybody. Mike Lindner along with Steve Crispin. And Steve, winter has finally gotten here. We have had a great year of weather, but today, weather could be a key as we have temperatures way down there with the wind chill. I don't even want to imagine how cold it is. This has to affect the play, particularly since it's the first cold day of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been very fortunate throughout the course of this football season. Many of the games that we've done have excellent weather, and I don't think the weather conditions have certainly played a game apart in any of the games that we've had, but it's certainly going to be a factor today. The wind is blowing very hard. It's very cold. As a matter of fact, right now the Glassboro team is staying inside. They're going to wait till game time to come out. Certainly, maybe that'll be something to work to their advantage. And I think if you look at the conditions as far as the game is concerned today, probably going to favor Paulsboro more than anything else. I feel coming into this game, Glassboro's got to be able to throw the ball, to move the ball on offense. I don't know that they're going to be able to put the kind of running game together against this fine Paulsboro defense that they've been able to do against some of the teams in their Tri-County Conference. So if it's going to affect one team or the other, I think it's going to benefit Paulsboro more than Glassboro maybe today.
A lot of the people taking a look at this game in advance say this should be a Paulsboro victory. They've had a super season marked only by that 1-point loss to Sterling, the eventual Colonial Conference champs, but this is a game that, because of the tradition of these two teams having met so many times on Thanksgiving Day and also in playoff competition, that has a way of bringing teams together, and the kind of enthusiasm that springs forth when you're playing for a championship, that has to really help Glassboro get a lot closer to Paulsboro.
Oh, absolutely. There is a rich tradition between these two teams, as you mentioned, dating back to the Thanksgiving Day rivalries that were there in the past before Glassboro went over into the Tri-County Conference. And then in Group 1 play, there's been a rich history there as far as playing in the championship game. These two teams last met in 1987. Glassboro an 8-0 victory. They haven't seen each other since. Woodbury has kind of dominated in Group 1 over the years. But certainly, as you said, a championship ball game, I think the conditions aside, both teams are going to be ready to come out and play the best football they can.
Injuries will play a factor in today's game, as they always do in any game, but particularly here at the end of the season when you've had young men who have been playing all season long. Glassboro hurt more than Paulsboro in this area.
Absolutely. We're going to see a number of players in there on Glassboro, especially across the front line, who have not had the experience throughout the course of the season as some of the other players have. Big loss for Glassboro was Keith Helliger, a two-way starter on the front line, a senior, the kind of man that they look to go behind, to run behind in key situations. Also with Jeff Lake up on that front line, they put together a real force on the right side of that offensive line for Glassboro. He's certainly going to be a big loss. Broke his ankle in the last play of the first half against Clearview. A tough loss for them. They will also be without Mario Ayala on the front line, and that's a big loss for Glassboro. Again, both offensively and defensively.
And the premier players on both teams, maybe offensively, of course, the quarterback, as it always is in the T formation at Glassboro, Charlie Ellis, who's been there a while now, and everybody thought of big things for him, and Charlie would like to go out with a victory today. But on the other side, you talk about quarterbacks, we've got one that we first saw this year and going to see for a long time in the future, and a premier player in South Jersey already, although only a 14-year-old freshman.
That's absolutely amazing. You mentioned a premier player, maybe one of the most exciting players that we'll see all year in South Jersey, and as you mentioned, only a freshman. He's really been known for the big play. He has a number of plays where he's going for long yardage to score. As you mentioned, second leading scorer in South Jersey, and he really adds an extra dimension to this offensive team, a team that's already strong. Kevin has the ability to run the ball, to pass the ball. Don't know how much he'll be able to pass the ball today, but he certainly has done a great job in stepping in and really being a catalyst for this Paulsboro offense.
Glassboro, Paulsboro. We're going to put the pressure on you. Last game of the year, we started way back in September. It's the championship. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think a lot depends on how you look at it, where these teams are right now. When I look at the Glassboro team, I look at a team that's had a very good year. It's a team that I think probably peaked about 3 weeks ago when they played Gloucester. They played an absolutely outstanding game. They controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. They had everybody healthy. Everybody was strong. They were playing good football. A lot has happened in the meantime. They've lost a couple key players. I don't know that they're playing at the level that they were playing at at that point in the season. Whereas on the other side, I see a Paulsboro team that has just continued to get better and better as the season goes on. When you look across their front line, and I think that's where the story today is going to be, is on the front line, both offensively and defensively for this Paulsboro team. They are just so strong. You go against Richardson and Gilchrist, Gallagher, Briscoe, Davis, and then Nevis at tight end. It's got to be one of the finest offensive lines that we're going to see all year long, and they've controlled teams both offensively and defensively. That's where Glassboro is going to have to do the job. If they can't control that line of scrimmage, if they can't keep the Paulsboro offense off, and I think they've got to be able to throw the ball effectively, they're going to find themselves with a long afternoon against this fine Paulsboro team.
All right, then, on a chilly Saturday afternoon, we get ready for championship play here at Paulsboro. Glassboro, Paulsboro, South Jersey Group 1 final coming right up after these messages. Championship football from a chilly Paulsboro High School, the NJSIAA South Jersey Group 1 final. Bulldogs of Glassboro, the Red Raiders of Paulsboro.
Let me introduce the captains.
Herb Stanton, today's referee, is at the center of the field with the captains. Let's take a listen.
Captain Harden, number 51, Captain Green, number 5, Captain Palmer, and number 56, Captain Lake. For the home team, we have number 58, Captain Richardson, number 2, Captain Davis, and number 87, Captain Nevis. Gentlemen, you want to shake hands? Okay, my name is Mr. Staten. I'm the referee for today's game. Across from me is Mr. Puderbach. He's the umpire.
Have fun, guys.
Okay, Glassboro, you're the visiting team. You're going to call the toss of the coin. I have a coin. That's a head. That's a tail. I'm going to toss in the air. I want you to call when it's in the air.
Tails.
You all set?
Tails.
Tails he called. It's a head, okay? It's a head. Red has won the toss. Gentlemen, you can elect your option at the beginning of the first half or at the beginning of the second half. When do you want your choice? You want to defer? Red has won the toss. They will defer their choice to the second half. Okay, Glassboro, kick, receive, or defend the goal.
Receive.
You want to receive? What goal do you want to defend? Turn around with your backs to the goal you're going to defend. Okay, to begin the game, white will receive. Gentlemen, come on in, shake hands, get your teams out. Let's have a good ball game.
Herb Stanton, the referee for today's game. As you saw, the toss won by Paulsboro. They chose to defer. Glassboro wants the football, they will receive. Glassboro coming in 8-2 with losses only to Salem and Delsey in the Tri-County. And Paulsboro 9-1 with that loss in the middle part of the season, 14-13 to Sterling. Sterling, the eventual champion of the Colonial Conference. Chilly, chilly day, Steve Crispin. First one of the year, and I think that makes it doubly cold.
Oh, it really does. I think the one positive thing is that it is for a championship game, and for the players that will be on the field, really, I think after the first couple plays, you kind of forget about the effects that the weather can have. I think weather in this kind of case really has an effect on the guys on the sideline, and when you have to turn to someone during the course of a ball game and have to get them out there maybe in a key situation, it's very difficult to kind of get things going.
We'll take a look at, you can see how sharp this wind is here today, and that, of course, is making it even chillier, and the wind is blowing almost side to side, and actually the only way to describe it, I think, is swirling, Steve. Very, very difficult to get a feel for it.
Yeah, absolutely. The coaches before the game talking to Glassboro, they said they were punting on one hash mark, and as the ball traveled down, it actually ended up in the corner on the opposite side of the field. So it is very strong, and as you mentioned, it is going to cross the field.
All right, deep for Glassboro will be Arnell Palmer, number 5 in the middle. Number 20, Chris Reed, will be to his left, and number 21, Milt Moore, to his right. Bill Nevis, number 87, to kick off for the Red Raiders. Long tradition, Glassboro and Paulsboro. Of course, traditional Thanksgiving Day rivals until a few years ago. Short kick, it will be taken up close by Bob Wolford. And Wolford goes nowhere, has the ball somewhere around the 35-yard line where the Bulldogs will have their first opportunity. Jason Lucci, number 69, the first Paulsboro Red Raider, in on the tackle. Offensively, expect Jolly Ellis, number 12, to start at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Brian Harden, number 22, at fullback. Milt Moore, 21, at halfback. And Arnell Palmer at the wingback in their wing T formation. Bozarth, the center. Green and Lake, the guards. Blueford and Rowland, the tackles. Wolfick and Taggart, the ends. Palmer is split wide to the right side. They'll come, however, it looks like they're going to look for the quarterback or the halfback pass. Chris Reed gets it downfield. Excellent catch. Outstanding job by Arnell Palmer. He was closely covered there by Clarence Harvey, but they got away with that one, Steve. Didn't really disguise it that well, as Reed got the pitch from quarterback Ellis and came up with that toss to Palmer, but Palmer, we'll see, just came up with that great athletic catch there.
That's a good play both ways. Reed on the play. On the replay, Reed is the halfback. They're going to run the sweep to the right-hand side. He stops and throws. Got a lot on this ball. Palmer, who was split right, watch the catch. He turns. It's away from the defensive player. It's well thrown. One hand reaches out. He's made those kind of plays all season long.
Double tight end. They'll go with the cross-buck formation running to the right side with Milt Moore. Milt Moore may lose a yard or two on that one as the defensive line closes quickly. Keenan Williams along with number 2, James Davis on the tackle.
You know, Mike, we had said coming to this game, Glassboro's got to be able to throw the ball. And right away, they show you a little bit of a variation, something that they haven't really probably done all season long, trying to open up this defense just a little bit, back them off the ball, and hopefully use their passing game to open up their running game.
5-man defensive front for the Red Raiders. A couple inside linebackers. They're going to come with the reverse this time. Palmer to the left side, not going to get away, however, as he is handled, read beautifully and down by Anthony Gilchrist. Gilchrist comes in and will be a loss of about 8 yards on it. Fooled Gilchrist not at all. Had they been able to get by Tony, they may have had some running room, however, on that left side. 3rd down, 18 yards to go. Just underway, 10-18 left to play here in the opening period.
This is a tough Paulsboro team to run against, and I know the Glassboro coaching staff, they know that. I've seen some things here, trying to get to the outside. Just not successful. It's a veteran Paulsboro defense, well-disciplined, and you saw Gilchrist on that particular play there.
Reed and Wolford split to the left side, but they're going to come with the counter play back to the right. Nothing happening here. Milt Moore is just greeted by the strong defensive charge of James Davis, number 2. And Davis shows him the way backwards, as there'll be another loss. It'll be 4th and 20. Ball is marked at the 35-yard line of Paulsboro as a result of that one successful play. Other than that, Glassboro unable to get moving here at all. And the Bulldogs coming up, apparently deciding not to punt the football, as Chris Reed comes to the right side, double tight end. Fumble on the snap, and either way it's going to be Paulsboro football, as it was 4th down. So the Red Raiders will get the ball. They'll mark it somewhere around the 34-yard line as Eric Frisbee comes up with the, or check that, that's Brian Peck coming up with the fumble recovery. So as you anticipated, the defensive play of Paulsboro, Steve, coming in, looked a little too strong for Glassboro, with the exception of that one play, and that was the outstanding catch by Palmer.
This is a great Paulsboro defense. We got to remember, they have given up the fewest number of points in all of South Jersey. Gives you kind of an indication of how strong they've been. Only 2 teams have scored have scored 2 touchdowns on them all season long.
Nevis moves to the right side as tight end. Kevin Harvey with the football, turns in, gives it to his running back, Kevin Jenkins, and Jenkins with the great explosion of speed. It's going to be close to a 1st down, make him up about a half a yard shy. Jeff Lake makes the tackle for Glassboro, but there was an explosion of speed from Jenkins. Jenkins, 5'9", 150-pound senior. The other backs, of course, number 2, James Davis at the fullback position. They come with the I formation, Jenkins at the tailback slot. Keenan Williams is split to the left side. And to the far side, Charlie Kidd wearing number 9. The offensive line, Gallagher at center, Dustin Briscoe, Anthony Gilchrist at guards, Matt Davis, Tom Richardson at tackle. Nevis is the tight end. He lines to the right side on this play. 2nd down, about a yard. They'll go again to the tailback. He is greeted at the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Brian Harden. Jeff Lake also in there again. Lake has been a standout all season long for Glassboro. There'll be no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
We've talked about the fact Glassboro's missing a couple key players on defense in Hilliard and Ayala. It's really going to put a lot of pressure on Harden in the middle, Jeff Lake in the middle, linebackers there. We saw Greg Beckett who has not seen a lot of time at the linebacker spot, getting a little action. Harden has actually moved to the down lineman position. He will be playing nose guard, which is something he hasn't done all season long. So these injuries have certainly caused a lot of adjustments here for this Glassboro team.
Jenkins on the crossbar comes back to the left side. He's got first down and more down in cross midfield to about the 48-yard line of Glassboro. Palmer has to come along to make the stop, but Jenkins showing us great speed so far in this ball game. First down, Paulsboro. Both these teams strong defensively, as we'll take a look at this replay.
This has always been a nice play for him. You see him blocking down that left-hand side. You kick out the defensive end, number 7, Taggart there. Big hole, gets into the secondary, puts his head down, picks up the good yardage.
Slot formation to the far side now. I formation behind Harvey. Jenkins again, they're coming off that left tackle slot. They have had success there all day, and Glenn Howard says we'll just keep right on going until they find out how to stop it. And Richardson and Gilchrist on that side doing a super job opening that hole. And Dennis Taggart, who missed lots of the year because of injuries, really just too wide on that, not getting any support from his defensive tackle alongside of him. That has been the hole for Paulsboro to this point. They're going to bring the chains in, take a look. Herb Stanton says.
This has been a great Paulsboro offensive line, as we've talked about. They do the job. You're going to hear many of the same people mentioned on that offensive front doing the blocking when you look across Richardson, Gilchrist, Gallagher, Briscoe, and Davis opening up the holes. They're just going to be a little bit short of the first down there. We're going to hear many of the same names on the defensive front. And I've always felt at the high school level, if you control the line of scrimmage on offense, you are going to control the line of scrimmage on defense, because it's usually the same players that are playing both ways, and that certainly has been the case for this Paulsboro team. They've opened up holes all year long. Got fine backs, as we've seen in Jenkins and Davis. And, of course, this Paulsboro team is without one of their finest running backs that they've had here in a long while, and that's Jason Diggs, who, as we mentioned, may see some action today. Been out with a broken thumb. He was fitted for a cast and may have the opportunity to play. But in his absence, Jenkins has filled in and done a great job.
Well, it's second and very short. Let's see if Howard decides to take advantage of this, a free play, and whether or not Harvey will have an opportunity to put the ball in the air. He will have Charlie Kidd split way to the far side, and then Clarence Harvey will be to the near side, about 10 yards out. And he will stop and turn and going to throw it inside, and the ball is really nowhere near the intended receiver, Clarence Harvey, so this will be third and short. Harvey coming up, Kevin that is, incomplete on his first attempt. Both these teams strong defensively, as we've said, Steve. 3 straight shutouts now for Glassboro, and of course they've had 4 in the year, and Paulsboro, as you've already indicated, with that strong defense, having 6 shutouts this season. Jenkins leaves the game. James Davis goes to the tailback slot. And it will be Davis who will get the first down and more as he comes down close to the 30-yard line. Finally dragged down by Brian Harden again, number 22. First and 10 Paulsboro as this drive continues.
Well, we've talked about Harvey and the fine job he's done at that quarterback position and the touchdowns he scored, but he's also done an excellent job in really directing this Paulsboro offense. He's very smooth, very much in control out there, really has a good feel for the game, and we haven't seen this team exploit his talents yet up until this point either.
Davis, quick hitter straight ahead. Lake is there for the stop, along with Greg Brackett getting the start today. He'll pick up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
On that second down and short play in which the Paulsboro team tried to throw the ball, Glassboro went man-to-man on the corners and brought 9 men up to the line of scrimmage. And I think one thing that they may have to look to do is to do that more often. Bring up their cornerbacks, bring up their safeties, try to go one-on-one to the corner, and just hope that they can shut down that passing game and force them to maybe put the ball in the air by taking away the run.
Nothing doing for Davis on the plunge straight ahead as he maybe gets a yard or so. Let's just call it 3rd and 5 again.
You have to look for this Glassboro team to do a lot of stunning up to the front. Right now they've started in a 5-man front with Harden at that nose guard position. Maybe look for them to go with 6 down linemen. I mean, with the freshman quarterback, it's still a big game. He's had an outstanding year, but you want to try to put as much pressure on as you can, try to force him to do as much as you can, and trying to put the ball in the air.
Harvey on the option, wants to turn inside. He will not do it. Harden is there. He has assistance from Dennis Taggart. They will bring up the 4th down for Paulsboro. So the first carry of the day for Kevin Harvey. Harvey with 120 points on the season. 18 touchdown runs, 7 TD passes. First in Gloucester County and scoring, 2nd in South Jersey. The play will come in from the sidelines with Keenan Williams, number 12. You got to get Harvey out to the right side, don't you? A little sprint pass run option situation here. What do you think?
You certainly want to try to use his abilities as much as you can, and with his running abilities, awful tough to stop.
Throws down the middle, has the man there. It will not be caught, however, as he attempted to get it to Charlie Kidd, number 9, at the 10-yard line. That ball is deflected, however, and it goes down. So both teams now have had opportunities getting deep into the opponent's territory, but unable to proceed into score. So the Bulldogs will have the ball for the second time here in the first quarter. 4:53 remaining to play. We're scoreless.
On a fourth down play, that is a real nice pass by the freshman. He sets up, felt a little bit of pressure. It looked like maybe he thought about running to that right, but Glassboro ends kind of kept him in tight, and Palmer able to make the hit to force the ball loose. This Glassboro team came into this game really pumped up. They felt confident, even though they've had a loss of a couple key players, and maybe that defensive series there in which they were able to stop them will pick them up on the offensive side of the ball.
Gain of maybe 5 on this play as Milt Moore follows the 2 pulling guards, Lake and Green, to try and get some running room. Trying the right side, it'll be a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And Glassboro all season long, they've been very effective in running the sweep, pulling the guards, getting them out in front of these quick backs. They like to go to the right, then they go to the left. They have Palmer, you have Harden, we've had Moore and Reed, so they have a real balanced running attack.
2 tight ends with the wing-back Palmer now in motion. And they'll turn and give the ball to him as he tries to get to the left side with the speed does. He's going to have a first down and a lot more as he breaks a couple of tackles, finally gets it down across midfield. Arnell Palmer from the wing-back position with a big gainer for the Bulldogs. Anthony Gilchrist finally runs him down on the far side. Makes the stop, but will be 1st and 10 Glassboro.
That's a nice looking play. Palmer this time to sweep to the left-hand side, and out in front Rodney Green, who had to move from the tight end position to the guard position, gets out in front. Also Jeff Lake, the fine offensive lineman for this team, gets out there, and Palmer shows the kind of speed that he has to make the big play.
Now they split the wing far to the near side, and they'll go with the play straight up the middle. Brian Harden lunges forward and finally taken down by Mike Bell, who's had an outstanding defensive year for Paulsboro, but there's going to be a gain on this play of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Now Brian Harden has been a workhorse for this Glassboro team, 550 yards coming in, 10 TDs. He's made that transition from being a halfback to the fullback. He's a tough man to stop. And right now this Glassboro team controlling the ball. One thing that coaches want to do is keep that Paulsboro offense off the field as much as we can. And to do that, we've got to be able to put together an effective ground game.
Strong formation to the right side this time. They'll go to Harden, who is going to cut off to the right side and get downfield near the 30-yard line. Finally is stopped in the secondary by Clarence Harvey. But I'll tell you what, Steve Crispin, I'm a little surprised at the success that Glassboro is having running the football.
A little off to the right side. It's a lead to the fullback. Look how they seal everything inside. Taggart there. Mike Diggs, who's filling in on that offensive line, does a nice job of blocking down, and then Harden, when he gets into that open field, it's a tough man to stop.
Reed is now the wingback. He's in motion. Go to Harden again off the left side this time, and he just drives forward. Looks to gain about 4 or 5 yards. Now Glassboro, who did not come outside and warm up today, Steve, I thought that would be a disadvantage for them. Maybe it has worked to their advantage here as they're moving Paulsboro backwards on this drive at least. The first drive, the only success they had really was the long pass to Arnell Palmer. They're doing it here on the ground. Palmer back in the ballgame at the wing position. They keep 2 tight ends, Wolfick and Taggart, in the ballgame. Moore and Harden. However, it will be Ellis who keeps the football himself, and he's going to have a first down. He will be dragged out of bounds by Kevin Jenkins, number 3, but they fooled everybody but Jenkins on the Paulsboro side on that play. Another Glassboro first down.
Looked like a design play, maybe a fake of the dive to the left-hand side, and Ellis, who is a fine runner himself, takes it around that left side, picked up really good yardage. And of course, his running ability really gives them an added extra dimension back there. And they're doing just a great job of firing off the ball right now.
Mark it at the 13-yard line of Paulsboro. 2:30 left to play here in the first period. Harden steps across the right guard position, struggles forward for maybe 3 or 4 yards. Brian Peck makes the stop. And the Glassboro drive continues.
I really think that last defensive series that they had in which they were able to stop Paulsboro on that 4th down play was a little bit of a lift for them. They need to do whatever they can to kind of boost up their confidence as a team, as we said, playing without some key players. Coaches felt they had an excellent week of practice. The kids were really up for this game. A lot of fine senior leadership on this ball club. A lot of confidence in what they can do. And for them to have the opportunity maybe to get the first score on the board would really do wonders for this football team.
Mike Bell comes limping out of the ballgame for Paulsboro. He is replaced by Jason Lucci. Bell would be a big loss for the Paulsboro defense. 2nd and 7. Martin steps in and goes to the left side and is going to be very close to the 1st down marker as he approaches the inside the 5-yard line. Is that a penalty flag down or a yellow towel that has fallen? Wait and see. It is a penalty flag.
We have holding.
In
offense.
The area normally marked as holding.
And that's been one of the stories for this Bulldog team. They've, on various occasions, have really hurt themselves with turnovers and penalties, and it's the first one of the day for them. And here on a very nice drive, probably looked like they may have had the 1st down on the running play. Now to get called for the holding will push them back.
Okay, we had holding. Offense.
So holding is the call. It will now bring up a 2nd and 16 as the ball moves back to the 18-yard line. See what Ellis does with it, whether or not he chooses to go back to the air. He's thrown the one pass. It was complete to Palmer so far. Bill Moore can't get to the outside. He's just trying to get to turn the corner. It did not happen as he is handled by Davis. Jim Davis having a big game defensively already. Gets help from Derek Haney. Haney wearing number 17. 3rd down, 15 yards to go now for the Bulldogs.
Although they were successful in a couple plays in this series of getting to the outside, Paulsboro is a tough team to get outside on. Their defensive ends do a real nice job of getting upfield and forcing things back in. And then they have great speed out of the linebacker and the cornerback positions in which they're able to get up there and take these kind of plays away.
With the tight wing T formation now behind Ellis. He keeps it again after that cross-buck fake as Jenkins to beat and does that. And is going to get in and score. So surprise, surprise, Ellis looked like he was caught by Jenkins. Kevin Jenkins appeared to have him about the 7-yard line, but Ellis continues right on in. We'll take a look at this.
You know, Mike, in big games, key players have to come up with big plays, and that's exactly what Charlie Ellis does here. On the keeper, on the bootleg, he breaks one tackle. Then, as you said, right there, he was sized up again, able to beat the defender Jenkins there, and able to take it in for the score. So with 3rd down and very long, looking at them, they're able to come in with that touchdown, and hopefully they'll be able to use that to kind of build some momentum in this football game.
Eric Crane now to attempt the extra point. It's up. It is long enough, but it is off to the left side. Eric Crane, interestingly, Steve, from Glassboro, the son of assistant coach at Paulsboro, John Crane. 6-0, Glassboro on top. We'll be back with more football action after these words. Well, and a surprise to an awful lot of people here, and most notably, I guess we have to honestly say ourselves, Steve Crispin, Glassboro has jumped on top here with 49 seconds remaining to play in this first period on a 9-play, 72-yard drive. Ellis capping it off with the 18-yard touchdown run. The Bulldogs lead 6-0. Dabney with a good kickoff. This will go deep and be taken by Greg Harvey, who tries to get to the right side. Dennis Taggart trips him up, however, and takes him down. So now we'll see if Paulsboro from the 25-yard line can answer the charge from Glassboro.
Now, we said a lot of people coming in this game did not give the Bulldogs much of a chance. We felt coming in they'd almost have to play a perfect game, one in which they were able to keep this offense off the field. The kind of drive that we just saw by this Bulldog team is certainly something that they're going to have to produce all day long. That's the kind of drive they had against Gloucester early in the season, in which they beat a fine Lion ball club, in which they just controlled that line of scrimmage. They put together the good running attack that we saw there on that last series.
Kevin Harvey will line them up in the I formation behind him. It has not been a day that anyone would talk about so far for Harvey. He's going to drop and try to throw. Does come across. It will be complete to Jolly Kid. Just in a quick slant to the inside. He'll pick up about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4.
You know, it's something, Mike, but when you look at that, you have to think that probably he was checking off there. He comes to the line of scrimmage. He sees that the cornerback is giving him a lot of room. That's exactly what he got there as he calls the pass play and are able to complete it.
Well, in a surprising first quarter score, 6-0, Glassboro on top. The teams will change ends, and we'll take a chance to pause for these words. We'll be back with second quarter action from Paulsboro right after this. Second quarter action, Glassboro on top 6-0. Paulsboro with the football. 2nd and 3 for the Red Raiders. Harvey to throw, wants to toss it up long, and does, but out of bounds. And there's going to be a penalty flag, however, as the ball was aimed toward Keenan Williams, and it looks as if Chris Reed will be whistled for the interference. A strange call with the ball that far out of bounds, Steve, and the possibility of uncatchable.
You're absolutely right, Mike. I don't even know that yet anybody could have a chance of catching that ball. There was certainly some contact that was made. Again, I would not be surprised if it was an audible at the line. I had said earlier, Glassboro could bring 9 men up to the line of scrimmage. The lock on man-to-man on the corners. Paulsboro read that. I think they audible to a fly pattern down the sideline. But yeah, the ball was thrown, and with the gusting wind coming across the...
Okay, we had interference, defense. That's a first down.
With that wind blowing across the field the way that it is, it just carried that ball way out of bounds. It was not catchable. Again, another call going against the Bulldogs.
So go to Kevin Jenkins. They had success with that play early, and again they're going to get yardage off left tackle. That has been their most productive call of the entire day so far, and Jenkins picks up about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. They've crossed into Glassboro territory. We'll take a look at it. Boy, are they having success, Steve, off left tackle.
They really are. There's some good drive blocking out there. As you can see, James Davis, the fullback, gets in there. He's able to kick out the end. And then Jenkins with some fine running. He keeps plowing away and picks up a few extra yards.
High formation again behind Harvey. They're going to come with the counter trap back to the right side. Jenkins very close to the first down. He is driven back. An excellent hit by Palmer, number 5, and Chris Reed, number 20. Let's see where Stanton marks it and whether or not they have the first down. They'll take a long look at it and perhaps bring the chains across.
Now Jenkins coming off the field. He may be just shaken up just a little bit. Of course, that would be a big blow to this Paulsboro team. He's replacing Jason Diggs, as we mentioned. They will be checking him out on the sideline.
Well, they do get the first down. Let's see who comes in at the tailback slot, whether they just move Davis there. They do, and they will now have at the fullback position Eric DePietro, number 18. It will be Davis from the tailback spot. Oh, fumble on the football, on the carry. He's able to cover the football, however, at the 40-yard line. Picks up, as a result, maybe 3 yards out of it on the first down play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Fortunate for Davis there, the ball took the bounce right back up into his hands. Keep waiting and expecting Harvey to explode, do something sensational. He's done it all season long. It has not happened today. It's been mostly invisible.
Well, that's the one nice thing, is he doesn't have to force it. He can wait and let it happen because there's just so many great offensive players in this Paulsboro team.
Davis again following DePietro's block, but he will not get much more than a yard or two as Harden, along with Jeff Lake, make the stop. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Red Raiders.
This Glassboro club, as we've mentioned, have lost 3 key players from this defensive team, a fine defensive unit. Players on which most Group 1 schools would not be able to replace. But when you have the kind of senior leadership that they have, players that have been through all what they have in the last couple of years, not really been that successful, given this opportunity, they are going to do everything they possibly can.
Now Harvey wants to do like Ellis, and Harvey with that great speed. Everybody is fooled here, and Harvey takes it in with the touchdown run. There is the excitement we were talking about, expecting and not having seen to this point. And Kevin Harvey scores again. He now has 126 points. I don't know, mistake, or did he keep it on his own?
You're right, it's hard to tell. He turns, looked like maybe running a roll out to the right option, but the defensive end is not there. And the one thing the Bulldogs have got to do is you've got to contain these running backs for Paulsboro. You cannot get caught down inside. That's exactly what happened there. As we said, it's just a time bomb waiting to explode.
Davis's kick will be partially blocked and off to the right side. So with 9:24 remaining to play in this first half, we'll remain tied at 6 points apiece. So both quarterbacks on keepers themselves have come in with the touchdown. Today's game brought to you by Dowdy's Fine Furniture. It is Dowdy's proud tradition of quality, service, and value that has been kept alive for over 46 years with one of Southern New Jersey's largest, most beautiful home furnishing showrooms. 43,000 square feet of showroom with over 150 fully decorated and accessorized vignettes. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday 9 to 9, Wednesday 11 to 5, Saturday 9 to 5. Dowdy's Fine Furniture of Clayton. Well, it's Ellis on one side and now Harvey on the other. And both quarterbacks with the scores on almost similar plays. Everybody moving in one direction, quarterback going the other way. And in this Group 1 South Jersey final, we're tied 6 points apiece.
Now you can see why he's the second leading scorer in South Jersey. It's not because he runs the ball often. It's just, again, that they pick those key opportunities. They set it up with their running game. They've been running the tailback. We had Jenkins and Davis off tackle all day long. Then you fake it, you draw the defense, and he's able to get to the corner. And once he gets to the corner, he is so tough. We saw it earlier in the season, very early, when we had the opportunity to see them play Woodbury. Had some fine runs there, and just a great open field runner.
7-play drive, as you can see. Good kick from Nevis. It will be taken by Palmer at the 10-yard line. Palmer, with good speed, is going to get it out quickly up over the 20, over the 25-yard line before he's finally taken down. So the speed in the backfield, Ellis, Harvey, and Reed and Moore, they're playing to Glassboro's advantage today. 9:19 left to play in the half, and the Bulldogs get the football.
Right now they would like to really grind out a nice offensive series here, similar to what they were able to do before. Wind that clock down, maybe get a score across. Don't leave this Red Raider team enough time to get their offense back onto the field to put a score in.
They'll stay in tight with the wing T formation. No split ends, no flankers. Moore tries the right side, and again, they have not really had much success going to the right side at all. Taken down by 3 or 4 of the Red Raiders, and Matt Davis will get the big credit for it, number 78.
Defensively, this Paulsboro team, what they want to do is they want to string out those sweeps as long as they possibly can. They have a lot of team speed. And as long as you don't allow those running backs for this Bulldog team to get themselves going upfield, you're going to give your defense a time to get there to make the play. Glassboro running backs, they got to get themselves going upfield as quick as they can.
A quick hitter right here, straight ahead, this time with Harden. They had gotten 1 on the previous play, pick up about 5 on this one. See where the spot is.
Tackle by number 58, Tom Richardson.
Richardson there, credited with the the tackle along with Briscoe. It will be 3rd and 4.
And we look across this front line. We said Helliard's not in there. Ayala's not in there. We got Brad Rowan at tackle. Rodney Green, who moved over to guard. Bosser at the center, who's been there all year long. Lake at guard, who's been there all year long. And Mont Luke, for 2 step in and done a nice job at the right tackle position.
Ellis wants to keep the football. He hasn't had much success at all as Briscoe is there to take him down. So they've closed down the ends on this series. Cannot get out to the right side, can't now get out to the left side. And it will be 4th down, and the Bulldogs, we would assume, will punt from here. Glassboro and Paulsboro, frequent visitors to the playoffs. Glassboro, of course, won the title in '87 under Cleary, his 1 title. They won it in '75, '81, and '83. This, their 7th trip to the finals. Lost to Paulsboro back in '80 and '84. Ellis will be the punter. Harvey will stand deep for Paulsboro. 10 men coming right at him, but Ellis gets it off, and that wind isn't a factor here as the ball rolls, crosses midfield, and will come to a stop at about the 47-yard line where Paulsboro will take over. Paulsboro making their 9th trip today to the finals. They won in 79, 80, 82, 84, 86. Harvey will send Kidd as a flanker to the left side and bring Keenan Williams as a flanker to the right side. They'll go inside, however, with Davis. Davis finds a huge hole in the middle and just knocks, who was that, Palmer down as he continued forward. James Davis said, give me a hole like that and let me get started anytime and I'll get you yardage. As he takes the ball downfield to, the 19-yard line, Steve. That was an explosion caused by an opening and a chance for Davis to get some steam up.
Well, Davis is a good running back out of that fullback spot. He's big. He's bigger than any of the offensive linemen for this Paulsboro team. And you saw there, once he gets into that open field, he is tough to stop.
Now they'll bring Nevis over and set him on the right side as the tight end. They'll keep the back split this time, and they'll go with the counter trap to Jenkins to the left side. Jenkins makes the move to the outside, and Jenkins is in to score. So Paulsboro strikes quickly on this charge. It will be a 24-yard touchdown run for Kevin Jenkins, and he did it with that last move to the outside. So went with the open backs for the first time and counter trap back to the other side. Just took 2 plays this time. 52 yards, ended with Jenkins' 24-yard touchdown run.
There's a little counter play. It's the first time we've seen it today where they fake to the right-hand side, the back going into the line. Then they turn and give it to Jenkins. And again, just a great job of blocking Richardson, Gilchrist, Gallagher on that left-hand side. Opened up a great hole, and there you saw the speed. Jenkins back in, not feeling the effects of the injury earlier in the ball game. Now we have the delay of a game penalty that will go against Paulsboro as they were trying to line up for the 2-point extra point as opposed to kicking it.
Could even help them, couldn't it, Steve? If they are thinking about throwing the ball, move them back the 5 yards and give them a little more
ball,
room.
delay, offense, try again.
Gives them a little more room to operate.
Yeah, they may have to change their call here. We don't know if they had a pass or a run called.
5:52 remaining to play here in the opening half. 12-6. Paulsboro looking for points 13 and 14. Taggart chasing. Harvey throws to the corner and really just gets rid of it. It'll be incomplete. The score will remain Paulsboro 12, Glassboro 6. We'll be back with more from Paulsboro after these words. Today's game brought to you by Big Marty's. Big Marty's Southwood Shopping Center, Woodbury. I'd like to kick off this season with a touchdown sale. Remnants from $59. Carpet completely installed from $9.95 a yard. Stop in today. Big Marty's Southwood Shopping Center store in Woodbury. 24-hour installation. All credit cards accepted. Financing available. Big Marty's really does sell carpet cheaper. Now, Paulsboro strikes quickly to take the lead, 12-6. 5:52 remaining to play in the opening half. Bill Nevis now will try to kick it deep. Drives this one, and it'll bounce up. Be taken by Reed at the 15-yard line. Reed coming to the outside, gets a good block from Palmer, and crosses the 30, gets it up to about the 33-yard line.
You know, Mike, you mentioned that they struck very quickly there on that last series. Well, that's been the story for them all season long. We've seen the explosive team, the speed that this team has. Harvey and his ability to put the ball in the air. They do have a fine passing attack. Last ball game against Pennsgrove, a 33-0 victory to send them into the finals. They scored 20 points in the fourth quarter, really to open up that game. So they certainly are a team that can strike fast. And one thing Glassboro's got to be concerned right now, they cannot afford to give this ball back to this Paulsboro offense with a lot of time on the board, or they'll find themselves down 2 touchdowns going in the half.
Ellis with a double fake, wants to throw long. He's pressured, now gets off to the right side. Good pump fake there to get away with another one and finally get the ball in the air. It's going to be intercepted. Jolly Kid comes up with the interception, puts it off, and finally steps out of bounds about the 49-yard line of Paulsboro. But Ellis, who made a couple of good moves to give himself the opportunity, finally makes a mistake and just throws the ball downfield, and Kid is right there to pick it off. So Paulsboro gets the ball back here as a result of the mistake by the Bulldog quarterback.
Again, Ellis trying to make things happen. Glassboro going to the passing game, trying to open things up, try to open up that running game again. But this veteran Paulsboro defense is there to make the play. Kid is in position. He comes down with it. Right now, it looks like Paulsboro a little bit confused. They're going to call a timeout. They got a time here. Try to get another score across before half.
Another one of our sponsors today, as they have been all season long, Gloucester County College. Today's game brought to you by Gloucester County College, where you can move toward your career through quality programs, a top-notch faculty, and at a tuition rate that's truly affordable. Call 468-5000 extension 221 for information. That's Gloucester County College. Yeah, a little mistake that time as Keenan Williams came running on when the field as a substitute as the Red Raiders were breaking the huddle, and should have known enough to turn around and come back out instead. They had to call the timeout and waste one here. Williams remains in the ball game as a flanker to the near side with Kidd split 15 yards to the far side. I formation again. Remember, we've seen that most of the way. Did see the split backs last time, resulting in the touchdown. Harvey now wants to throw. He's chased. He's got pressure on him. And let's see if he can get rid of it. Throws it downfield. This one can be picked off. Arnell Palmer does it. So the quarterbacks on the opposing teams exchange turnovers here. And that was an ill-advised throw by Harvey that time, as the Bulldogs will pick it up now at their own 36-yard line.
You're right, a lot of pressure. You can see it at the top of your screen. Number 66 is Mike Diggs. He gets in there and puts some of the pressure on. Forces Harvey to get rid of the ball. Really no Paulsboro receiver there. Big play for this Glassboro defense as they're able to get the ball back. Look to maybe put a drive together.
Yeah, let's see. Ellis answers it now. This time he had the football. He made one of those plays, getting away from a couple of defenders and then throwing it downfield into the hands of the opponents. This time they'll turn and they'll go to Milt Moore. Moore will slip and fall. He will be covered at the line of scrimmage by Derek Haney, number 17. There'll be no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And Mike, a lot of people look at that last play by Harvey and they'll say that's the inexperienced quarterback, but I think you got to look at that. That's a quarterback that wants to make things happen. You saw Charlie Ellis. He's a veteran quarterback. He's a senior doing the same thing for a Glassboro team, and that's the quarterback position is there for, trying to make things happen, and sometimes these players overestimate their abilities there, and just a bad decision on both of their parts.
Palmer in motion. There's a fumble on the football. Let's see if Ellis was able to cover it. Quickly jumps down in front about a yard from where the ball was snapped and tried to get to the cover, and it does look like Ellis got it. So it'll be 3rd down, and as a result of the fumble, they'll get a yard out of it. It'll be 9 for the first down. 4:12, 4:10 as the clock continues to run here in the first half. 6 points separating these teams, 12-6. Paulsboro, the home team, on top. Amazed at how Glassboro gets away in this day and age, Steve, with everybody so tight. You think that plays right into the hands of these bigger defenses that you see at the high school level today. Ellis looking downfield, throws the ball up. He's got his man, but it's going to be nearly picked off as Clarence Harvey attempted to take the ball away from the intended receiver, Chris Reed. As Ellis's pass is nearly intercepted again. It will be 4th down, however, for the Bulldogs, and they will have to punt again.
Now you're right, Reed was out there, looked like he was open, and that might be a case where the wind just held that ball up just long enough for the defense to come in to make the play. But Mike, just a comment on your one statement there as far as the linemen being tight. I think it's the philosophy of this Glassboro team. They want to get outside, and the idea being we'll draw that defense in as tight as we can, hopefully be able to block down and have the room to get outside and utilize that team's speed.
Ellis gets it off under a big rush. Harvey has the football at the 35-yard line, looking to get downfield. He has handled well on the special teams play and thrown down.
Looks like it was Chris Reed who's wearing number 51 today. He had to move from that tight end position, which he is normally Rodney Green, who moved from the tight end position to the guard position for today's game to fill in for Hellier, who got down there, was able to make the play.
Well, let's see what they do in the final 3:28 of this first half. They try to stay on the ground, or whether or not Harvey will attempt to throw the ball also. Very difficult with this wind to have a successful passing attack today. But they'll try it anyway. And on the quick slant, a good catch by Charlie Kidd. So Harvey puts it right on the money to Charlie Kidd. They pick up the first down in Glassboro territory. The ball will be down at the 37-yard line.
You're right, Mike. That ball was right on the money. Quick slant pattern. Again, they give Kidd a little bit of room in the top. Quick 3-step drop. He sets, he throws. Kidd is able to make that reception going across the middle. As you can see, this Red Raider team, they want to get another score before the half.
Kid will go back out to the far side. Williams will be the near side. Nevis exchanges positions for the tight end. They'll turn, and now Davis on the counter trap this time. Again plunges forward. Lake finally stops him along with Palmer, but he's going to approach first down yardage one more time. See where they mark it. Maybe a yard shy. It'll be 2nd and 9. Davis having a big first half here on the ground.
We'll see this Paulsboro offense do this quite a bit. They'll move the tight end from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. It changes the strength for their offensive formation. It's important for the Bulldog defense to adjust to that.
Again, Davis on the fake pitch just keeps it inside, looking for first down yardage. He gets that. Harden is there with a couple of the other Bulldogs as a penalty flag comes down. Face mask apparently going to be the call. That's what Davis says. Let's hear what Herb Stanton says.
Okay, we had a face mask. Defense.
Well, the Raiders will pick up additional yardage, have the first down for sure. See how much they count out here. It's a big one.
Face mask. Defense. First down.
First down. First down as the ball now is down at about the 12-yard line. Big penalty. Positive for Paulsboro, negative for Glassboro. Clock running, approaching the 2-minute mark. As Paulsboro attempts to open up at least a 2-touchdown lead here, the conclusion of the first half. Garvey wants to throw the football and does across the middle, but Palmer is there as they were looking for Nevis. Palmer came across with that left hand and knocked it away. Ellis was the primary defender against Nevis. So it will be 2nd and 10 from the 12 with 1:54 left and the clock stopped.
You know, although this is a fine Glassboro defense, it is a fine Glassboro team. One of their strengths is in the secondary. Tough to throw against, although Paulsboro has been successful. Ellis and Palmer back there in the middle are very good at what they do, reading the quarterback, reacting to the ball, read, and more on the corners.
They'll toss it to Jenkins, who has some blockers out in front and knifes through the blocks at the point of attack. He gets the ball down around the 7-yard line. So it will be a 3rd down now. Let's see where they mark it officially. 3rd and 5 from the 7.
It's a great opportunity for Paulsboro right now. They only need about 5 more yards for the first down. Minute 30 left in the half. Enough time for them to get 2 plays off here to get the first and not leave any time on the board for Glassboro to get the ball back here in the first half.
They'll move Davis back to the tailback position. DePietro at the fullback, but Davis gets it off left tackle. He's going to be in for the touchdown, so it'll be a 7-yard run for James Davis. Penalty flag, however. There is a penalty flag down, and it's right where normally you see holding mark. Let's see what the call is, however. Penalty flag in the middle.
We have holding offense.
And it is exactly that, a holding against the offense. Therefore, that touchdown will be negated. That was a big one here with 1:12 remaining to go, Steve, and if they were able to open the 2-touchdown lead. We'll take a look in the middle. And DePietro, remember, number 18 is in at fullback as they move Davis back to the tailback position.
It's going to be right at the point of attack. I don't know that we're going to be able to see the hold or even actually see the call. The flag comes
holding.
in.
Offense.
Very late. There's the official at the bottom part of your screen. That flag does not come out until the runner's actually in the end zone. So it was a very late call, one in which maybe the hold actually took place after the runner had gotten by. But nonetheless, it's going to go against Paulsboro. It will take away the touchdown and bring up 3rd down and long.
Today's game brought to you by Dowdy's Fine Furniture, with home and office furniture with over 24 desk styles in stock. In-store or in-home decorating service available. Complete bedding department, free delivery within a 50-mile radius with a minimum purchase of $300. Major credit cards accepted and other financing available. Dowdy's Fine Furniture at Clayton, open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday 9 to 9, Wednesday 11 to 5, and Saturday 9 to 5. They've done a great job, our primary sponsors, all season long. We really appreciate the assistance they've provided to Channel 5 and our coverage of high school and college sports. So Glassboro takes the time out to try to gather themselves for the 3rd down play here and the 4th down play to follow, assuming Paulsboro can't score. The crucial part in the ball game for both these teams. Paulsboro, lots of people, including ourselves, if truth be told, expecting them to have a relatively simple time of it today. I don't know why. We just sensed that. We looked at scores and the amount of points that they were able to put together, and it just kept adding up to Paulsboro. But Glassboro's given them everything they could want today.
I think the loss of Helyard and Ayala for this Glassboro team also had a lot to do with that. Two strong offensive and defensive linemen, but this Bulldog team has really responded well.
Harvey wants to throw the football. He's going to be Chase. He has the great speed. Remember, there's another penalty flag, by the way. Let's see. Harvey's going to go in to the end zone, but there's going to be some kind of a maybe motion penalty as the flag is down again. Looks like a motion or a holding. Holding against Paulsboro one more time, and it'll negate another touchdown. So twice here in the final minute and a half they've scored.
This is an absolutely incredible speed. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. It's at the bottom part of the screen as far as where the holding is, but there is no reason for anybody to be that fast. Harvey showing exceptional speed down the sideline. It looked like a broken play. And here we're going to have another 10 yards marked off against the Raiders.
Holding, offense.
And that runs the clock down to 1:02. Let's see if they can do it one more time now. 2 touchdowns that are not going to count as a result of holding penalties.
They could be really 2 big plays, because if this Glassboro team can walk off this field at halftime only down by a touchdown, it's a big difference in walking off down 2 touchdowns to a very explosive offensive team. You never know what kind of effect it's going to have later on in the ball game, but I think at least psychologically at halftime, it would be a big lift for Glassboro.
3rd and about 25 for the Red Raiders. Now let's see as the officials step in what the confusion is at this point. Both linesmen coming in to talk to Herb Stanton. Now the umpire getting involved. Big discussion. Maybe he's telling them, hey, let's let them play. What do you think?
And there's been some big calls both ways so far in this ball game. There's 2 big ones right now going against this Paulsboro club.
Bill Nevis doing his best to listen in, the captain out there on the field for Paulsboro. The Glassboro defense huddles around the conversation. Surely this is not in confidence, this discussion. They'll let us in on what's going on.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell exactly what they'd be discussing, whether it be a time factor, placement of the ball, the down.
Well, Big Marty is interested in what's happening too. We want you to stop in at Big Marty's, Route 45, Woodbury's Southwood Shopping Center. And Glassboro is going to call a timeout now to talk about it and give us a chance to talk about some of the big specials at Big Marty's. $9.95 a square yard. That's the beginning price for carpet, completely installed. Remnants available from $59 and up. Major credit cards accepted. Financing available. Installation within 24 hours of making your purchase. Big Marty, Southwood Shopping Center, Woodbury. Big Marty really does sell carpet cheaper. Now they're going to have the discussion on the far side as Stanton goes over to talk to the Glassboro Brain Trust. The coaches are trying to figure out what's going on. I defy you, Steve, to try and figure out. I guess the down is what they're trying to figure out. But there's been successive penalties on 3rd down plays, right? So doesn't it remain 3rd?
But you're looking across the field. They had 2nd down on the sideline, and now they've moved that over to 3rd down, and now they're coming over to explain it to Glenn Howard. You're right. I thought that would be pretty straightforward. That would remain 3rd down.
Howard now getting the explanation at the sideline. Well, we're back to football, live action, I think. 1:02 showing. 3rd down, 25 for the Raiders. Setting up maybe screen pass, and Davis cannot get it. The ball bounces up. This is not intercepted by Brian Hart, number 22. But Harvey really did not give much deception there as he got back so deep so quickly that Harden and the left side of the defensive line just sensed screen pass and held their territory well. 4th down now, 25 with 56 seconds remaining.
You got to remember, we had 3rd down and 5 from about the 8-yard line, and now we have 3rd down and 25 outside the 30.
So now the Red Raiders say, let's have a timeout. So everybody expending those timeouts going to take a chance for one more big play. The final minute and a half here have taken forever, huh? Gloucester County College. Today's game brought to you by Gloucester County College with engineering technology, digital electronics, computer-assisted manufacturing, and allied programs that will move you into the 21st century when it comes to career opportunities. Call 468-5000 extension 221 for additional information. Gloucester County College. Well, I did not anticipate it being this close at halftime. I did not anticipate Glassboro having the amount of control that it's been able to exert in this ball game. And I think this has to really rebound to Glassboro's favor if they can get into the locker room with the score remaining 12-6. They've got to say, hey, we believe we can do it. Let's get back out there and take control.
Oh, absolutely. I think they have to be very happy where they stand right now. And we said coming into the game, they had have to have a lot of things go for them. They were able to put together a good drive to get a score across early, and right now it's mistakes on the part of this Paulsboro team that's really worked in their favor.
Harvey wants to throw long. He lofts it up. The man is there in the end zone. Nevis cannot get it. It's going to be picked off by Palmer. Palmer coming up the right side. They've got some blockers in front of him. He will carry the ball across the 35-yard line about where they will finally mark it, but with 41 seconds to go, Arnell Palmer comes up quickly. Looked real good for Harvey when let that ball go. Had a couple of receivers, Steve, heading into the end zone right at that area, and Palmer came out from the right side and made the interception.
That was a well-run play. The execution was there. You're trying to lock up Nevis maybe on a cornerback, allow him to use his size to go up and get the ball. But as we said, this Glassboro defensive secondary is strong in the middle with Ellis and Palmer, and especially Palmer, who read it very well and was able to come in there using excellent timing to pick that play off.
All right, let's see if they decide just to run out the clock, 25, 24 seconds. Now they're going to try and put it in the air too. Ellis gets caught from behind the ball, therefore is not going to go downfield. He will not get a good one. But Palmer's come up strong a couple of times now in the defensive backfield.
Well, this Harvey, he sets up deep, he sets up fast, nice arm, really releases the ball extremely quickly. Watch Palmer come into the picture right there. It looked like the ball was going to be right there to Nevis. As we said, the timing was there, and Palmer's able to make the big defensive play.
10th interception of the season for Arnell Palmer. Big, strong defensive back for the Bulldogs. Ellis will now have a trips left to the near side, double slot formation. One man remaining behind him with 17 seconds to go, and they'll just turn and give that to the remaining back. Apparently let the clock run down under 10 seconds now. Neither team showing any indication that they're going to call a timeout. Now the clock temporarily stops, and Glassboro apparently says with 4 seconds to go, they want to call a timeout. So they will use their last one and apparently let one go long, I guess here. It doesn't make sense to me to run the straight plunge and then call the timeout, but why not, I guess.
Right, I think they're trying to open things up, maybe get the big play to Hart and pick up some good yardage so that they can do something later on with this particular play. And so we said this is a team that came in, they felt they had nothing to lose. Everybody had written them off as this was not going to be a close game at all. Paulsboro team came in heavily favored. So right now they're going to take advantage of every opportunity they can to put a score across, 4 seconds left. You have Ellis. Ellis has really been throwing the ball extremely well lately. Last couple ball games, the passing game has really started to come together. I think that's something they're going to try to utilize here in this situation if they can.
And I think both teams, at least the substitutes, will be happy to get to the locker room as chilly as it is today. If you haven't been playing, you've got to really feel very, very cold. They will wind the clock with the 4 seconds remaining. The clock will begin, of course, with the snap. Ellis keeps everybody in tight. Palmer, the lone man split as a wing to the near side. They'll turn and they'll fake, and he'll drop. Going to be pressure. Now he wants to come up the right side himself, and finally will be driven out of bounds, and that will do it. So all that for naught as they will go to the locker room in what has turned into a very, very good football game. That's very competitive, 12-6. The home team, Paulsboro, on top. Second half football coming up after these words. (12-6), home team Paulsboro on top in this South Jersey Group 1 final as we get ready for second half action. Bill Dabney for the Bulldogs to kick off. Charlie Kidd and Greg Harvey will be deep, but they'll not get a chance at this one as it'll be taken by Davis up short. He'll plow forward, get the ball up over the 30-yard line where Paulsboro will take over for their first time here in the second half from their 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's see what kind of adjustments now Glenn Howard and his staff have made at halftime offensively.
Throughout the course of the first half, they were able to move the ball offensively. They're not going to have to do too much. They just want to put those drives back together. End of the first half, it was penalties that really played a big part. I think right now this is a key series defensively for Glassboro. I don't think they can afford to allow Paulsboro to drive down the field and get a score across here early in the second half.
Davis off right tackle has big running room here in the first play and gets it out about 8 yards as he crosses the 40-yard line. But Davis looks like he may be injured as he just stays on the ground. Chris Reed came up with a big hit, getting that shoulder into Davis. Davis would be a big loss. He, of course, starts at fullback when Jenkins is at tailback, but more importantly, also gives him that big power out of the tailback position when Jenkins goes to the bench. So Davis, not only strong offensively and defensively, would be a key loss for the Red Raiders here in the second half.
You know, Mike, I think it was the first hit that really put Davis down. It was Palmer who came up and hit Davis low, and I think maybe either caught a knee or an ankle. It was Reed who hit him up top. It's right there.
Yep.
That's the one I think that may have gotten him. Palmer barely had to hit Davis to put him down as there was a lot of open running room, and Davis is really in a lot of pain, and you said that would be a key loss for them. He's really opened up a lot of holes out of that fullback spot.
Gives us a chance to pause and talk about Dowdy's Fine Furniture, one of our sponsors of today's ball game. Dowdy's, with home and office furniture with over 24 desk styles in stock, in-store, in-home decorating service also available. A complete bedding department, free delivery within a 50-mile radius with a minimum purchase of $300. Major credit cards accepted and other financing available. Dowdy's Fine Furniture, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 to 9. Wednesday, 11 to 5. Saturday, 9 to 5. 881-4800. Delsey Drive in Clayton. Dowdy's Fine Furniture. Davis limps off, and we'll get a chance to see if he comes back a little later, but he'll go to the bench right now. He took a real shot, either, I think, ankle, not knee, the way he's walking along with it. They'll check him on the sideline at the bench. So 2nd and about 2, and it'll be Kevin Jenkins off left tackle. That's his primary hole all day long. He's not going to have enough for a first down here as he is dragged down. Brian Harden making the stop. Again, Harden, normally a linebacker, starting at middle guard today, comes up with a big stop. 3rd and less than 1 for Paulsboro.
You know, my two people who are also watching with a very close eye out here today are the two head basketball coaches at Glassboro and Paulsboro. Kevin Timbers at Glassboro and new head coach Len Carmichael at Paulsboro. And of course, they keep an eye on players. They'd hate to see anybody lost here as their season is well underway. And James Davis for Paulsboro is a key for this Len Carmichael basketball team.
Jenkins gets away from the first hit and is finally taken down. Going to be real close, depending on the spot. It looks to me like he's getting a real good spot from the linesman who says his forward progress was over the 45-yard line, and that will be a first down.
Just enough for a first down as he took the handoff there. Jenkins actually looked like he had the ball sitting on his hip. Fortunately for him, he was not hit initially as he got through that line of scrimmage, but able to pick up the yards necessary for the first. Right now, some of the more pressure could fall a little bit more on Kevin Harvey now, that quarterback spot, with Davis now out of the ball game. A lot more pressure on him and Jenkins to maintain this fine running game they've been able to put together.
Jenkins on the counter trap to the left side will pick up a couple. Finally taken down. Good job done by the defensive line that time. The charge led by Mike Diggs, number 66. So it'll be a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Eric DePietro, wearing number 18, is Davis's substitute at the fullback position.
Right now they're looking at Davis's ankle. They're taping him up. It's fortunate to see that it's an ankle and not an knee injury. And I know he's hoping maybe to tape it up and hopefully be effective enough to come back here and play again in the second half.
On the option, Harvey gets it out to Jenkins. Jenkins steps back to the right side and picks up maybe 7 or 8 on the play. Again, Diggs is there for the tackle for Glassboro. They cross midfield now, and the ball will be marked at the Bulldog 48-yard line. It will be 3rd and 3 with the gain on that play of about 7. It'll be 9:21 left to play in the third period. Paulsboro on top, 12-6.
Well, Harvey runs that option so well to the left-hand side. Looked like Glassboro had defended it well in the corner, taking Harvey out of the play. Defensive end makes a tackle, but The quick pitch going to that left side. He gets it to Jenkins, who's able to pick up some good yardage.
Slot to the right side, but they'll go with the counter again to the left side with Kevin Jenkins. And Jenkins is outstanding running. Has first down off about 12 more yards. As he gets it down close to the 30-yard line. Up late, penalty flag. Going to be some kind of roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct call apparently over on the sideline. That one is really going to hurt, and I think against Glassboro.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike defense. Take it.
You never want to see it, but you surely don't want to see it on this first drive of the second half for Paulsboro. 15 yards for unsportsmanlike is really going to put the Red Raiders in good shape and hurt the Bulldogs. As the ball now will be marked at the Glassboro 20-yard line. That will stimulate Paulsboro and really challenge Glassboro. Harvey will have DePietro at fullback and Jenkins at tailback in the I behind him. Nevis will move to the right side. Will be DePietro on his first carry of the day, and he's got a chance to go in. And Eric DePietro scores, gets an opportunity today for the first time to run the football and goes in with the 20-yard touchdown run. 8:38 to play in the third period. 18-6 Paulsboro on top. So got to be a happy young guy there. Not happy about coming in because of an injury to one of his players, but the junior, Eric DePietro, gets a chance to run the football. Does an outstanding job, as he could have been had a couple of times on that 20-yard run.
Yeah, he surely did. Coming out of that fullback spot, he puts his shoulder down, he fights off the first block, then gets into the open field. Doesn't get that opportunity too much, but certainly takes advantage of it.
Here's the pitch to Jenkins, wants the two-pointer and gets it. Big two-point conversion, penalty flag down. Wait and see what happens. Herb Stanton has had a lot of chance to talk to us. It is against Paulsboro. Illegal block, apparently. There's no reason to discuss it, just mark them off. Mark off the yardage.
A lot of key penalties down in this area that have gone against Paulsboro. This one was the block on the end as he would get the call.
Illegal use of hands, offense, we're going to try again.
So they'll get another opportunity as they move the ball back to, let's say, about the 13-yard line. See what Harvey does with this time. Got to expect him to get the ball in the air, looking for the 2. Score remains 18-6. Slot formation to the near side. Harvey sprints in that direction, now looks back the other way, and it's not going to be caught. It will be incomplete, a screen pass to Neves. Let's take a look at the touchdown.
This is the quick trap up the middle. It's going to go right to the fullback out of this I formation. You'll see he'll have a good hold to that right-hand side, turn, and you'll see as he's able to fight off the first block, and the secondary will be right there. Does a great job, as a fullback is taught to do, and then once he gets to the open field, he sees that goal line, and he's not going to be denied.
18-6. Paulsboro on top. We'll be back. Well, Paulsboro did what they wanted to do here at the start of the second half, get the touchdown on the long drive, even losing James Davis. It was so important to their fortunes, they're still able to come up with the touchdown. 7 plays, 66 yards, finished off by Eric DePietro's 20-yard touchdown run. 18-6, 8:38 remaining to play in the third, as Nevis will tee it up. He'll probably have to get assistance. Mike Bell coming in to take a look, see if he wants him to hold it. Palmer will be deep, along with Chris Reed and Milt Moore. Nevis tries this one right out of bounds. It'll be a penalty flag, illegal procedure. We'll see how they rule this one.
Kicking team, offense will take the ball at the 35-yard line.
So Glassboro chooses the ball at the 35-yard line instead of having Paulsboro kick again. Well, it'll be up to Charlie Ellis and crew to try and answer the Paulsboro charge, get back into this ball game. Harden and Moore will be the running backs behind Ellis. It will be Moore once the right side gets the corner. Twists and turns and really struggles forward, gets down near the first down marker. Excellent run from Moore. Looked like he was not going to be able to get to the side and turn upfield, but he did it. And he'll get a gain of about 8 out of it. It'll be second down. In fact, they've got more than that. It's very, very close to the first down. It'll be less than a yard. Briscoe finally got out there from the linebacking spot to make the tackle. But credit Milt Moore with an outstanding run there. Ellis will make an adjustment on his center's helmet. Mike Bozarth, number 50. Again, they remain in very tight. Going straight ahead, struggling, looking for the first down, and they have that on the straight dive. That was Harden, number 22, making the carry. The ball is marked just over the 45. Let's call it the 46-yard line of Glassboro, 1st and 10.
Well, if the last series was a big series for the Glassboro team defensively, this is a big series for them offensively. They've got to put something together here as they come out in their first offensive series here in the second half, try to make something happen. Of course, they like to get a score and get themselves back within a touchdown.
Waggle!
Turn on the track, coming inside, nothing doing here. Mike Bell just right along with number 62 from the nose guard, Brian Peck, making the stop there. They just blew through where the trap blocking was trying to occur. It didn't happen at all, and there'll be a loss of about a yard. Call it 2nd and 11 as they'll mark the ball right at the 45-yard line.
That last play, James Davis went in there and tried to play at his linebacker position, defensive end position. He's just not able to do so. He came limping off the field with that sprained ankle, very frustrated, did not able to participate. I don't know if we'll be able to see him anymore today.
Ellis keeps it with a good fake. Now looks across, nothing doing as he was trying to get the ball to Bob Wolfuk, number 31, and the wind played havoc with that one. So it will be 3rd and 11 for the Bulldogs.
You know, Mike, I think it's really gotten a lot colder out there than it was when we started the game, although there was snow flurries at the beginning of the game. The wind has really started to gust up. I think it's going to have more of a factor here in the second half than it did in the first. And talking to a lot of people at halftime, a lot of people remember back in '87 when these two teams met in the championship, there was a semifinal game that year where Glassboro played Sterling, and Paulsboro, I don't know who they played, but a lot of people felt it had to be the coldest football game of all time. It was a windy, blistery day. Temperatures down to around 0, the wind chill factor. I'm surprised that anybody could play football. So these conditions aren't certainly near what those are, but it certainly is cold out there.
Ellis again to throw. Wanted Palmer, not going to do it, and he is taken down. Good defensive play made by Anthony Gilchrist, number 68, to throw Ellis for the loss. And it will be 4th down as they'll move the ball back now to about the 42, 43-yard line. Gilchrist really did a good job here.
He certainly does. They do a great job of the defensive end spots. They work to get outside. They know Glassboro has that speed. He fights off that block. Does a nice job in there to get the loss.
So Ellis will stand at his own 29-yard line to await the snap for the punt. 10 men on the line coming for Paulsboro. They nearly get to it. Ellis gets actually a good punt under the conditions as the ball will go out of bounds at the Paulsboro 28-yard line where they will have 1st and 10 Paulsboro. 5:56 remaining to play in the third period. 18-6 Paulsboro on top. We'll take this break. We'll be back with more football after these words. Paulsboro for the second time this half gives the ball to Jenkins to start the second drive. He is not going to get anything, may even lose a yard. Going to be very close to the original line of scrimmage. In fact, now they move it forward and say got a yard out of some strange spots we've seen today. However, they will have the ball at the 30 with 2nd and 9. Jenkins again trying that left tackle. They just continue to run him off that position. I formation remaining behind Kevin Harvey. They'll turn and go with the fullback, DePietro, on his second carry, and again doesn't get the thrill that he got last time with the touchdown, but this time crosses the 35-yard line, gets it to the 36, picks up about 4. It'll be 3rd and 3.
This is a great rushing offense for Paulsboro. We have some halftime statistics. Harvey had 43 yards on 3 carries. He had Davis out of the fullback spot, 54 yards on 9, and Jenkins 65 on 8 carries. So it really showed a lot of balance out of that backfield. They had 162 yards rushing to Glassboro's 92 yards rushing.
They again move Nevis, and there's really no defensive adjustment. It doesn't matter for Glassboro this time, as Harvey on the option is unable to make the turn and slips and goes down. And now the Raiders face the 4th down and will have to punt.
Now they're trying to run the option to the right-hand side, as you said. Looked like Harvey wanted to turn that ball upfield. And boy, it's really something. As he takes that ball and gets to the outside, you get that feeling of excitement in the crowd. That they really feel like something's going to happen. And this young man has a lot of good speed, and especially when he tries to get himself to the outside of that offense.
Nevis stands to punt. Zone 20. Again, you can see what the wind has done with the football today, as the ball is going to be down just across midfield at the Glassboro 49-yard line, where the Bulldogs get it one more time. Today's game brought to you by Big Marty's. Big Marty's, Southwood Shopping Center, Woodbury. And they've spent the entire fall football season with a big touchdown sale. Remnants for $59, carpet completely installed from $9.95 a square yard. Stop in today. Big Marty's, Southwood Shopping Center, Woodbury. 24-hour installation, all credit cards accepted, financing available. Big Marty really does sell carpet cheaper. Slot formation to the near side. Ellis has real trouble inside as Harden finally gets the football and twists and turns, and how he got 4 yards out of that, I have no idea. Mike Bell was in there really trying to disrupt the offensive pattern for Paulsboro, and Harden somehow or another gets 4 out of it, 2nd and 6.
Now, Paulsboro's really getting off the ball on the defensive side. You mentioned Bell was in there, Peck out of the nose guard position, and Davis really making a lot of penetration. A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, but Harden's able to get the ball and play through there and pick up a couple yards.
Ellis has trouble with the football. It's fumbled. This is the 2nd time that's happened today. See if Jolly can get back on it, as he did on the first fumble in the first half. They'll umpile him there and say, nope, he got it back. So it will be 3rd and 6.
Now something the team with the red shirts came up with the ball, but for some reason they've given it back to Glassboro. Probably both players had possession of the ball under the pile. They make the ruling. Many times one player will just give up on the ball, allow the other player to have it once the decision has been made.
3:03 remaining to play in the 3rd period. Palmer this time will split out about 10 yards. Generally is at the wingback position right off the tail of the tight end. Turn for the guards, and good hold. Milt Moore has a chance to go. He's got the one man to beat deep, and Jenkins will finally recover after the defensive play on the pursuit by Clarence Harvey. But Milt Moore got a lot more out of that one than it appeared he was going to get at the point of attack. Has the Bulldog first down around the 12-yard line of Paulsboro.
Good sweep to the right-hand side. Lake, he gets out in front, kicks out the end. There you have Palmer, who's out in front, number 5, gets stripped up, and then it's Moore with the speed down the right-hand side before he's taken down by Harvey. Now, great opportunity for this Bulldog team to score here in the 3rd quarter.
They'd like to draw closer, down 18-6. Back split behind Ellis. He'll turn, go off the right side to Harden. Harden tries to cross the 10, does that, looks to get to the 5, but will be stopped at about the 7. Will it be a gain of 5? It will be 2nd and 5.
Both these teams have really been big play teams. On Thanksgiving Day against Clearview, Glassboro scored really on 3 big plays. 2 of them were touchdown runs. Another play was a long pass that eventually set up a scoring opportunity. Of course, Paulsboro very much the same. And that's the one thing as a coach you have to be concerned. In a close ball game, both of these teams have that kind of speed to break for the long ones.
Ellis again has trouble with the football, and he fumbles it finally. Looks like Paulsboro may get it. He tried to recover and hold on to it himself. Let's see, I think Stanton is going to rule that he was down before the ball came free. So the Bulldogs catching a big break here.
No, absolutely, Mike. Big break there. Certainly, I felt the ball came out before he hit the ground. Now, the question may be whether or not he was in the grasp of the defensive player. As you will see again, there will be a little bit of a bobble in the snap. He tries to get to the handoff. He gets hit right there. Now, maybe the whistle blew before the ball came loose. But Glassboro will maintain possession here on 3rd down, and they got to look to score.
3rd and 8 from just inside the 10. Ellis now sprints to the right side, tosses the ball. It's going to be taken by Moore. Can he get in? He does. Touchdown, Glassboro. They draw within 6 on the pass from Charlie Ellis to Milton Moore. So this drive was Moore with the big run, followed by that reception, and then the scamper into the end zone where he had to get by a couple of Paulsboro defenders. Now let's see, they'll go for 2 as it is 18-12 here with 1:02 remaining to play in the 3rd period. Nope, but they're going to bring Crane in, I'm sorry, to go for the kick. Be a big moment for this young man, as we mentioned, with his father on the opposing sideline as an assistant coach. Good snap, good hold, and it's going to be blocked. Good job done that time coming in from the left side. Keenan Williams, number 12. So the teams will remain 6 points apart. 18-12 with 1:02 left to play here in the 3rd period. Scoring drive, 6 plays, 51 yards. It's finished by a pass from Ellis to Moore and an 8-yard touchdown.
That was really a nice looking play. Moore out there in the flat. Ellis does a nice job rolling to his left to get the ball out to him. And then Moore, again, with the fine running that he is able to take it the extra 5 yards and take it in for the score. A really nice drive by this Glassboro team, and they really needed it. Certainly has got them back in the ball game defensively. They were able to come up and force Paulsboro after 3 plays to punt. They got the good field position. It was Moore on the sweep to the right, and then it was Moore on the pass reception for the touchdown. Enables the Bulldogs to draw within 6.
This game more than, of course, just the look for the championship trophy and the championship crown for the year. It's the play for conference pride. Tri-County representative, Glassboro Colonial Conference, Paulsboro. And of course, you have that argument every year, which conferences play the best football.
You know, Mike, another factor in this ball game is that you have 2 teams playing in the Group 1 championship that did not win divisional titles. So coming in this ball game, both of these teams had a lot at stake. You know, you come out of a loss in this ball game, and after having a great season, you really have nothing to show for it. So both teams looking for that Group 1 championship. Add another little trophy to the trophy case.
Glassboro finishing in 2nd place in the Classic to Salem, one of the 2 teams that defeated them, along with Delsey during the year. And of course, Paulsboro behind Sterling as a result of their loss to that fine club, 14-13, in the game we had right here on Channel 5. And one of the better football games of the season. Dabney having trouble with the ball as it blown off a couple of times. It will be held now by Chris Reed. Charlie Kidd and Clarence Harvey deep. It will be Harvey. Check that is Greg Harvey, who is going to get the ball out to about the 25-yard line. Excellent kick by Dabney and a pretty decent run back by Clarence Harvey. The Red Raiders will try it again.
Well, now have an opportunity to see if this Glassboro defense can continue its success here in the 2nd half in terms of just looking at that last series as they were able to stop Paulsboro. Not as successful in the first series, of course. But now with that touchdown and drawing within 6 points, hopefully you see that momentum go over to the defensive side of the ball.
Harvey will put a slot formation to the near side. Keep his backs in an eye behind him. He will turn and go to Petro. For the 3rd time today running the football. And the Jeff Lake, always present Jeff Lake, comes up with the stop after the gain by Eric of a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Under 20 seconds, Steve, left to play here in the 3rd period.
Jeff Lake's been a big key for this Glassboro team offensively and defensively throughout the course of the season. First game of the year against Kingsway, he was injured. He's recovered, playing that linebacker position, really anchoring this Glassboro defense, along with him and Brian Hart. And his time now runs out here in the 3rd period.
That'll do it for 3 quarters of play from Paulsboro. South Jersey Group 1 final. 18-12, the home team. Paulsboro on top of Glassboro. We'll be back with 4th quarter football after these words. beginning of the fourth quarter here with Paulsboro up by 1. Kevin Jenkins gets the football, but he's not going to get much yardage at all as he is handled by Greg Brackett. Brackett getting a chance to play today because some of the injuries to the Glassboro teams comes up big here. Gain of maybe a yard by Jenkins. It'll be 3rd and 7.
You're right, Greg Brackett moving into that linebacker position as Harden goes to that nose guard spot, and he's come up with some nice plays here today. They're coming up and making the play on Jenkins, and now another 3rd down and long for Paulsboro.
Well, they wanted him to wait for the time to run out to end the 3rd period, so they would have the wind at their back here in this period. And as a result, Harvey wants to throw, gets the ball up in the air, is looking for Nevis, covered well by Arnell Palmer, who's been strong all year and has been very strong in today's game in the defensive backfield. So it will be 4th down, and the Raiders will be forced to punt.
Oh, good job defensively. Taggart to defensive end. He contained Harvey that time. He forced him to stay in the pocket. Harvey just doing a nice job of getting rid of the ball, as then he felt the pressure up the middle. But Palmer was there, Ellis was there. The ball was just a little bit wide, and again, Glassboro's able to hold on 3 plays and will force Paulsboro to punt.
Nevis will stand at his own 15-yard line. No snap, but gets it off. Driving over the head of Milt Moore. Moore has to chase this one and should finally get away from it, but that's the kind of punt you want, isn't it? As Nevis, standing at his own 15, sees the ball roll dead at the Glassboro 12-yard line. What a difference a punting game can make.
Couldn't have come at a better time. It wasn't pretty. He felt a little bit of a rush. He got rid of it quickly, but with only 1 man deep, the ball sailing over his head, no one was there. And of course, then he got a good roll out of it. Now Glassboro will have to go a long way. So the Glassboro defense came up big. They forced Paulsboro to punt. But with the special teams play of the Red Raiders, Glassboro now has to go a long way for that score.
We're right at the 11-minute mark here in regulation. Remember, they will play overtime to find a winner if this game ends up tied. Ellis brings Palmer in motion. A big play for them in the early going. Palmer is able to get away from the man in the backfield and is going to get 5 yards or close to it. It appeared he was pinned in the backfield, but did a good job to escape and get the gain out of the play. So Palmer's had a strong day offensively and defensively. Glassboro player shaken up on the play, and this will cause an injury stop of time.
Looks like Rodney Green at that guard position. He had come out on the play and was pulling, and his responsibility was to kick out the defensive end. He's up on his feet now. He will have to go off for at least 1 play. And I think right now we're starting to see the effects of James, or the lack of having James Davis on the field, is having for this Paulsboro team.
Well, today's game brought to you by Gloucester County College, where lifelong learning enables you to improve your present career or move into a bright new one. Programs are offered on our 270-acre main campus in Deptford and at our new Pure Land Center at Exit 10 of Route 295. Call 467-8535 for information. Harden loses the football, and it's going to be a big break for Paulsboro. It appears that DePietro, who got that last touchdown and had an impact, is going to have a bigger impact here as he comes up with the turnover and gets the football, covers it at the 20-yard line. That will be a play you want to mark down, Steve. I have the feeling that kind of turnover can really kill you.
You know, and Brian Harden very upset with himself right now, but it's just a tough play, and these are the things that happen. Got a good hold to the right-hand side, trying to fight for the extra yard, and just loses the ball, really not on the hit. As you see, DePietro is able to come in there and cover it. As you said, we'll give the Red Raiders excellent field position.
Credit Keenan Williams on that tackle. He may well have stripped Harden of the football. Harvey goes to DePietro from the tailback position. He just crawls forward, gets the ball down near the 15-yard line. Be a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. So a player probably not expected to play any big part in this ball game at all today, Steve, coming up big for them. As a result of the injury to Davis, DePietro getting a chance to play, scores on a beautiful 20-yard run, then comes up with the recovery of the fumble, the big turnover, and now gets 5 on this first play of this drive. And we'll have the ball again, and he's going to have 1st down and more as he gets down inside the 10-yard line, carries it to about the 8. It will be 1st and goal for Paulsboro. That's DePietro going to love today.
Now something that the Red Raider team is doing right now is they're going with a single back offense. They've gone with 2 tight ends. They've actually taken Kevin Jenkins out of the ball game. So DePietro running out of that fullback spot, but with a single back now you have the 2 tight ends. You can run effectively either to the left or the right. And right now the Paulsboro coaching staff is going to stay with this kind of an offensive look.
2 split men from the backfield. They'll turn. Harvey will sprint to the right side. He's going to be hauled down. No, he will not be hauled down. How he does it, I'm not sure, but he gets away from a couple of them, primarily Charlie Ellis in the backfield, who I felt had him down, but he's going to get the ball down near the 7-yard line where they will mark it.
And you're absolutely right, Mike. Going to the rollout option pass to the right-hand side. Ellis came up very quickly. Looked like he was going to have Harvey. He breaks a couple tackles. He's not a big man. He's built very low to the ground, has a strong lower body. We know he has the real great speed. That time was able to keep his balance and able to pick up a couple yards.
It will be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. DePietro remains as the lone deep back. They'll go with him on the delay, but nothing doing there as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Everybody piles up there as if they were in a scrum. And it will be 3rd down facing Paulsboro at this point.
Now, of course, the one negative thing with the single back offense is right now they're saying there's a penalty against the Bulldog team. The one negative thing with the single back offense is it allows the defense to key on that back, and that's what Glassboro has been able to do.
Big penalty, negatively for Glassboro, positively for Paulsboro. We'll wait for Stanton's call on this one.
We had illegal participation on the defense. 12 men on the field. 2nd down again.
What a time to have 12 men on the field. Illegal participation to call. And therefore they will bring the ball inside the 5. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. I'd like to know who was out there counting. Nobody looked like they were trying to get in or out. They plow forward with looked like they were in the wishbone for the first time. Green makes the tackle.
And Jason Diggs actually made an appearance in the ball game, Mike. He came in at the fullback spot. He lined up. He is fitted for a cast, and of course with Davis out of the ball game and not able to participate, he now lines up. He will be the lead blocking back. Now he moves to the halfback spot, and DePietro goes back to the fullback, and they are in the full house alignment.
In the wishbone. Diggs will have it off the right side, and let's see, he will be in. Jason Diggs, his 2nd opportunity to carry the football since he was injured prior to the Sterling football game, picks up the touchdown and opens the big lead now, 24-12. Paulsboro on top. Got to be a thrill for Diggs. And there is a Glassboro player injured on the far side, but we'll take a look at Diggs' opportunity to score.
You're absolutely right. It's got to be a thrill for him. Having missed the number of games he has, came into the season as one of the premier running backs in the Gloucester County area. Well, the full house, you have DePietro and Jenkins leading up into the hole. He follows his blockers. And I don't know that he was going to be denied on that one as he was able to see the end zone and get the ball in there.
Big day for Mr. Diggs. Starts it out all morning long with the SATs, taking the big college entrance examination tests, as Taggart is hurt on the far side. Then comes here, having had his cast modified, Steve, to the point that they felt it would pass muster by the officials. The officials had to check it prior to the game and said, yeah, you can go. And then it was up to Glenn Howard to determine when Diggs would get his chance. He gets it here and comes up with the big touchdown. He will remain in the ball game as they will remain in the wishbone as they look for the 2-point conversion. Turn and go to Jenkins, who follows Diggs, and no problem at all here as Kevin Jenkins gets the 2 points, 26-12, 7:07 remaining in the 4th period. We'll take this break. We'll be back. 4th quarter action is following these words. .7:07 remaining to play in the 4th period. 26-12. Paulsboro appears safely ahead at this point. They want to get a good defensive series in this next Glassboro possession as Nevis will kick off. Again, DePietro will hold the football because of the wind and having so much difficulty keeping the ball on the tee. They'll just bounce this one down. Harden tries to can't get it. Arnell Palmer picks it up at his 12-yard line and is taken down. Strong defensive play by Keenan Williams, number 12, who knifed down there and made the stop. And Glassboro is going to start deep in their own territory. They will have the football at about their 17-yard line.
You know, Mike, there's no doubt that the turnover for Glassboro is going to be a big play in here. And in that series, I had mentioned the fact that it was really obvious that Paulsboro was hurting without James Davis there in the ball game, both offensively and defensively. The two series that he was not in there, they were not able to get a first down after 3 plays and were forced to punt. Found like Glassboro had started to work his side defensively. Certainly to turn over and having Jason Diggs back in the ball game on offense has been a big lift for him.
Biltmore carrying the ball. Tom Richardson comes up with the stop. They'll get the ball out to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of a couple. Call it 2nd and 8. Clock now all in play.
That's a tough position for the Bulldogs right now as time starts to wind down. They don't have the field position you like to have to be able to put the ball in the air. Right now a turnover, of course, would lead to another Paulsboro quick score. But then on the other hand, Glassboro is going to need 2 scores to be able to get back in this ball game.
The wind is blowing directly into quarterback Ellis's face. Will make it very difficult to use the air. Palmer in motion. He'll turn, give it to Arnell. Arnell behind the blocks of Harden. He gets some assistance this time from Dustin Briscoe, who's been very strong defensively today. So they'll pick up a couple of more. It'll be 3rd and 4.
I don't know, this is the kind of position that Coach Bob Cleary did not want to find himself in late in the ball game, down by a couple touchdowns, forced to put the ball in the air. They have been a fine running team. It's been their primary emphasis on offense throughout the course of this season, although Charlie Ellis's passing game really has started to improve in the last couple of ball games.
Ellis sprinting to the left side, wants to get the ball to Moore. Whoa, he cannot do it. It'll be incomplete. And a 4th down for the Bulldogs in a difficult place to punt from, deep in their own territory with the wind strongly in their face. So Paulsboro will get good field position out of this exchange. Well, I don't think they'll punt the football then.
I think they'll have to go for it here. They know time's running out. That last play was the same play they scored a touchdown on, and it looks like an easy pass that should be made, but going that way, the wind is blowing directly at the ball, and it really just kind of made the ball die, and of course Moore not able to make the reception.
5:05, and they will go for it with a slot formation to the far side. And fake, and nothing happening here as this is Mike Bell just comes in, number 7, and says, forget it, no way, we'll take the football. That is a gamble that is not paying off for the Bulldogs.
I know it's not, and of course up front with Davis and Peck and Bell, they've done just an outstanding job, and we mentioned the Glassboro team has had to make a lot of changes up front. And when you're in situations where all you have to do is fire out and hit the man in front of you, man on man, they've done a nice job. But I think right at this particular point in the game, this Paulsboro defense has done a lot of stunning up front. They're doing a lot of movement, and I think they're creating a lot of confusion for that inexperienced front line of this Glassboro team. And Bale took advantage of it there and was able to come up with a big 4th down play.
Harvey will have Jenkins as the only runner behind him. He'll give the ball to Kevin. He'll go off the left side and finally taken down by Rodney Green, number 51. Clock just continues to roll. We're under 4:30, 4:25 left to play. Paulsboro will not be in a hurry to get out of the huddle. Glassboro just doesn't seem to have that enthusiasm now, Steve, as I think they're beginning to read the writing. Harvey on the busted play is going to wind up with himself, and he's going to make something out of it. He's going to make a lot out of it, in fact, as Brian Harden finally will drag him down, but he's going to be very close and may, in fact, have the 1st down for Paulsboro. So maybe you're better off with Paulsboro and Harvey in the backfield if you have a busted play and he's forced to carry it himself.
Well, that time all the motion was headed to the right-hand side. That's where the play was initially created to go. Harvey turns, the back is not there, so he tries to make something happen back to the left. There was enough running room, and just a great runner, a lot of moves, good speed.
1st and goal. DePietro gets it and struggles over the 5-yard line. DePietro would have loved to have picked up his second touchdown. Probably anticipated staying on the sideline and attempting to just keep warm all day long. Instead has seen tons of involvement in play today and has the 1 touchdown to his credit. He'll remain as the lone running back behind Harvey. He'll go with the double tight ends and split the other 2 backs. DePietro off the left side has his second touchdown of the day. So the junior, Eric DePietro, going to have a tremendous memory of the 1992 Group 1 South Jersey final game as he moves the score to 32-12, Paulsboro on top.
Now you have to give DePietro a lot of credit. He's stepped in here and he's done a very good job in running out of that fullback position, but you also got to give a lot of credit to those people out front that are opening that holes. On that left-hand side, it's Tom Richardson, Anthony Gilchrist, Gallagher at center, and throughout the course of the game, as you see there, the 4 plays, 18 yards for the score. And they've just done a great job up front.
Nevis to attempt the kick, and it's not going to be any good off to the left side. Kicking has been an adventure all day long with the wind blowing here, but it appears with 3:09 remaining to play in the 4th period that Paulsboro has an up 32-12, and I think we can begin to get the crown ready, do you not?
Now you see a lot of people starting to move out here. They've stuck with this cold weather here at this ball game today. A lot of people felt they certainly have 2 great teams matched up here. We've said before, Paulsboro heavily favored coming into the ball game, but Glassboro's played an outstanding game. I think they've done everything they could. They put themselves in a position where late in the ball game they had the opportunity to win the game with a score and the extra point, but with a turnover and now having to go for it on 4th down and give the ball back with good field position to this Paulsboro team, they find themselves out of it right now at 32-12.
Nevis will have an opportunity to kick it off one more time. The Bulldogs would need some real exciting play very, very quickly. And one way would be to get something big on the kickoff return. Glassboro had a big contingent of fans here today. Very, very few of them left at this point. Nevis is not going to be able to kick it here as the ball rolls off the tee. We'll have to tee it up again, and Mike Bell will step in to hold the football. Bounces this one up, and Harden gets it. Tries to the right side. Now they're really hitting. This time coming down quickly. Keenan Williams one more time. That's the second kickoff in a row he's gotten down to make the big hit. Harden can get maybe 5 yards out of it. Penalty flag on the field. Just announced.
Have holding on the kicking team. We're going to
Holding on the kicking team. That is a difficult penalty to do. So the Bulldogs will get some yardage.
We have holding, kicking team on the return, 1st down.
.258, under 3 minutes left to play here as they wind the clock and begin it again. Final day of high school football in New Jersey. Sectional championships being played throughout the state. Ellis wants to keep it, and he's going to sprint to the far side. He has good running room. He had the touchdown on that play early in the ball game. He picks up about 9 on this one. It'll be 2nd and 1, but they've got a deep hole they've got to climb out of, and not enough time to do it.
And one of the players there on that particular play, 71, Wayne Hampton, only a freshman. There's a number of fine-looking freshmen for this Paulsboro team. Of course, Jason Diggs, who's played as a freshman for this Paulsboro team, will be leaving the team as well as a number of other players. But with Harvey back at quarterback and a lot of young, fine ball players coming up, this is a program that we could see at the top of this Group 1 and certainly a contender in the Colonial Conference for the years to come.
Palmer with blockers in front of him, turns the corner, gets good running room, and continues downfield and really hit big-time tackle that time. One more good job by Keenan Williams, number 12, as Palmer goes to the ground. He gets the 1st down and, of course, has it into Paulsboro territory as they will mark it at about the 39-yard line. Well, now they move back to right at the 40. Under 2 minutes now, 1:55 with the clock running. Ian Williams in the ball game now as a split receiver. In the slot to that far side will be Chris Reed. Ellis wants the hand off and thinks better of it, holds on to himself, and he'll be just taken down. Initial hit by Anthony Gilchrist one more time today. Got some assistance from Jim Davis back into the ball game. So
I was just going to mention, Mike, Jim Davis back in the ball game. He can barely move right now, but you know there's nothing more than he wants than to be on that field when that final whistle is blown to end this ball game, to be a part of this team as they capture this Group 1 championship. A lot of these players have been around for a long time.
And look who's playing a cornerback position, number 1, Jason Diggs. So Glenn Howard letting both of them, Davis and Diggs, play right now in the final minute. And here comes the reverse to Palmer. He's got Ellis out in front of him. Got lots of running room. There's one guy left to beat, and he's not going to do that as he will be dragged down and out of bounds to stop the clock. But a big play for Palmer, who's gotten a lot of yardage today, as they'll have the ball out at about the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 46 seconds to play. 32-12 in a game, Steve, that if you were here and you remember, it would be a lot closer than the final score indicates.
Absolutely. 18-12, Glassboro with the ball, trying to put a drive together. And the turnover gave the ball back to Paulsboro, and Paulsboro eventually was able to go in the score, and that was really the story right there. But as I said, a good showing by Glassboro. They had the opportunity to win late in the ball game. That's all you can ask for as a coach.
One more time, unable to get the handoff as Bell and Gilchrist both close from the line. Ellis decides to hold on to it. And 15-14, whether or not the Bulldogs will get a chance to run another play, we're not sure. That could do it. It's under 10 seconds to go now. 3-2, and Paulsboro will win it. They will finish at 10-1. They will be the South Jersey Group 1 champions, 32-12. But guess what? As is the case so frequently, Glassboro, for some unknown reason, calls the timeout with a second or so to play. Let's see what the call is. Now they say, nope, we don't want it. That will do it. It is official. 32-12. Paulsboro, the South Jersey Group 1 champions. We'll be back with some interviews and final words right after these messages. With the coach of the champion Group 1 South Jersey, Glenn Howard. Hey, Glenn, it was pretty tough there for a while. Glassboro came out, surprised us. I wonder if they surprised you.
Well, they really didn't surprise us. We knew they had a real good ball club, and we knew it was going to be a tough game. And like all season long, our guys hung tough and played hard, and we got a couple breaks in the second half, and we warmed down a little bit, I feel, in the second half, and, it was a great game.
You were having a little bit of trouble offensively, but not really much trouble defensively. Defense held tough till you were able to get the offense going, and a young guy, got to get some credit. Eric DePietro comes in and gives you real life following the injury to Davis. DePietro probably expected to be on the sideline most of the day, didn't he?
Not really. He's been filling in whenever we need him, and he's been playing excellent ball on defense and on offense. And when we put him in, we got confidence. We know he can do the job. And he's just playing behind a real good ball player, James Davis, and he'll get a lot of reps next year.
When they talk about Paulsboro, they talk about pride. Where they mean pride, they talk about family, and family really came out at the end when you were able to get that big number 1 in the ball game, get him a chance to get a score, a thrill for you, a thrill for the town, and a thrill for Diggs.
Yeah, he got a tough break by breaking his thumb, and he's just been an inspiration to all the guys all year. He's still been around and, been rallying around the guys. And even though he missed most of his senior season, I'm glad he got the score to put the thing on ice for us.
Glenn, congratulations. Good job. Go back and talk to the players.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Glenn Howard, great job as usual. He's had a phenomenal run here at Paulsboro after his high school career, going away to college and some pro ball, and then coming back and and really giving to his athletes, and it shows how much they rally around him. Everybody talks about Paulsboro football, Glenn Howard, and I think it was coaching today to rally this group on a cold day when Glassboro came out. Steve Crispin did a super job at the beginning, but they held together defensively and then exploded in the second half offensively.
You're right. We certainly have to give the credit to the players. They're the ones that do the job, but you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. Bob Cleary brought a team in here today. They were undermanned. They've lost some key players throughout the course of this season. He had his players up. They were ready to play. They played the best that they possibly could, and they did an outstanding job. And certainly Glenn Howard has done a great job in putting this program at Paulsboro back on top. They've been out for a couple years. It's been a lot of Woodbury for the last couple years. Now it's the Paulsboro team, and it could be the Paulsboro team for years to come.
Well, it's a cold one here, and it's about all we have to say. 32-12. Congratulations to Paulsboro. Good job by Glassboro, but not enough today. Paulsboro, the South Jersey Group 1 champions. Now for Steve Crispin and Channel 5, I'm Mike Lindner. I hope you've enjoyed football this year on Channel 5. We'll be looking for you next time.